Here we are, episode 25 with Justin Brown sitting in for us today.
JB from Browntown.
We want to take a quick second to thank ICT Fest, Matthew and Teresa. Is that how you say your name?
Matthew and Teresa Zardoz from Roger Day Productions.
They were completely awesome and got us out there. We want to thank, they gave us a week notice, and we got it all together pretty quick.
Less than a week.
Yeah,
it was
Tuesday.
It was the struggle bus there for a little bit.
And it was great to get out there and interview a bunch of people, meet some new people, make some new friends, see some of our old friends, re-interview some people, catch up, see what they're doing. It was a special shout out to City Blueprint for getting our banner together real fucking quick too. That was great. The guy, I can't remember the guy who took care of that for us there, but
Mr. Blueprint.
Mr. Blueprint. Yeah. But they got that shit done lickety split for us in like 2 days. So shit went really well. So
it was exhausting.
I'm still fucking tired. It's like Tuesday.
20-something interviews over 2 days. It was just and we tried to be pretty quick on the interviews, but man,
10 to 15 minutes most of them were, I think.
Yeah, but it was just a lot.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, my head was just like, whoa.
And then Miko was serving drinks, and that didn't help the wall thing either. So.
Yeah, but special shout out to all the people at the Wave too. They were great. So all the staff.
So it's not the Wave, right?
It's just the Wave.
It's just Wave.
Just Wave.
Just Wave.
So
it's like the Ukraine. It's not actually the Ukraine. It's Ukraine.
Well,
we're not the Americans.
That's
a good comparison.
I'm gonna fuck that up. I'm gonna fuck that up every time.
It's not the Wave. We're not the America. So
well, they're not. Well, shout out to the.
Shout out to Wave.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that up every time.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
I hear everybody do it. I don't correct them, but you're my buddy. So fuck you.
Why not wait? Yeah. Well, thanks for waiting until we're on air. Too. I appreciate it.
I had that one in the bank. I was waiting on that one.
We've loaded. All right, and also our last running ad for PK Pest Management. All your pest control needs. Hit us up at 316-305-7108. We got quarterly sprays. We do termites, fleas. Everything under the sun, bed bugs. Even if you're dealing with that problem, don't be afraid to
They got fly spray you can eat.
Yeah, we sell a fly spray to customers and to venues. If you have trash cans and flies and sinks and bar backs and all stuff, we sell this great aerosol fly spray that's sugar-based and completely safe. So get with us for all your pest control needs. And hopefully we got some shows to show on a banner, and we'll run that banner for you real quick.
All right, so that was a graphic kind of explaining what shows are popping up. Amped Up Live was a really good resource, I feel, for like finding shows locally. And they're not really doing it anymore, and that sucks. I don't know how to take up into that space, but I feel like somebody needs to take up.
We got a great person here to ask a question to. Did you deal with Amped Up Live? Did you send them information?
No, they sought it out. I think it was her that did it. I met her.
It was
one
a girl.
night.
I never knew who was in charge of it.
Yeah, and she would just troll's the wrong word, but she would troll Facebook, and find stuff. So she was, 99% accurate sometimes. Of course, it's one of those thankless jobs where if she ever made a mistake, she would get 600 comments on that. It's one of the things. It's one of the things we laughed about. Is we have a similar, situation in that you make a mistake, then people comment on it. But no, it was great, and it was a great service for all the venues, bars, everybody with stuff having.
That's our review-based world now. It's like Yelp reviews. Does anybody go on and say, "Man, I had a great cheeseburger at this place.
Some do, but
place was clean.
Very rare. It's very rare.
Well, that person is very rare.
Yeah.
You're talking about optimists versus people that just want to bitch when there's no consequence. Okay, like the keyboard warrior at home.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no consequence to him going, "Nah, fuck that place. I found a hair in my food and it was mine." But whatever.
Yeah.
And almost always you can go check those people, all of their Yelp reviews, and they're all fucking.
They're all bad.
Those people's opinions really hold no currency. And hopefully they're starting to weed people out like that. So would a venue owner like you be interested in emailing your set list or your gig list to someone for the next month? To streamline that process so it's not someone trolling fucking Facebook, getting wrong data? Because we're trying to take over that space maybe a little bit.
I think it's going to be both, honestly. I think that you're going to have
shit changes on the fly. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I think you're going to have venue owners that like will do that, like, you know, once a month, kind of give you their list, and then I think other venue owners are going to be like, no, find my promotion, and if you feel like sharing it, cool. But
I mean, if we're willing to share it on this show for you, you would think that they would be willing to kick us like, here's what's coming up in August. Here's what's coming up in fucking November. Yeah. Like, that shouldn't be too much to go. Like, some of the bigger places like the Cotillion and all those places, they do that shit anyway. Like, so we wouldn't really have to deal with
we just go get their monthly schedule.
Yeah, we just get their fucking flyer that they got and go. And some places have a website, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but fuck. Yeah. I mean, if she's just trolling for them, that's a lot of work, and I can see why she ain't doing that shit no more.
It is, yeah, no doubt.
Because every day you got to sit down and see whatever all the shows are all the time.
Well, and Justin, if you did it, how many bars you own right now?
4.
The kingpin over here.
So yeah, all of Justin's bars are
Snug Harbor, Shamrock Lounge, John Barleycorn's, Jerry's Bar and Grill.
A bunch of great bars in this town that we frequent all the time. And Justin said, since we're doing this, every time me and Aaron are in the bar together, we get free drinks in all 4 of those bars.
Buy 2, get...
Buy 2.
Buy 2, get just the next 2 you have to pay for.
Yeah.
So.
Get 2 for the price of 2.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
So we're trying to work that deal with any bar owner. While we're there, we get free drinks. Swing and a miss on the first one.
Right. No, actually, in Wichita, you can't do it. You can't give away drinks to anybody.
Oh, really?
Even like bands is part of the deal. You can't really give away any of it. ABC says no.
K-Star, Kansas Star Casino wanted to do that because it's a casino. They were not allowed.
You can't do it.
Oh, is that a fucking Kansas thing or what?
Probably.
Yeah. Kansas has a bunch of weird alcohol laws. They always have.
You can do something like quarter wells or something like that.
Yeah,
but
and give deals. Yeah,
I'll give them like a real great deal. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, how does... Well, I won't put them out.
Yeah. Some of this stuff's off limits.
And
Trade secrets.
I started talking about the government right away.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So did you get all these bars at once? What was your first bar? How did you get into owning bars? How many have you had in the past? Is this your first stint through it? All those
So Snug Harbor was the first one.
I like that little bar. If you guys have never been there, it's a fun little bar.
I had out of college, I got into rental properties, and then I had as I call it, a square job. I was selling stuff, but I always bartended on the weekend, so I stayed involved in that industry. And then as time went on, Snug was, about 5 years ago. I actually bought that with a bunch of partners, but I started selling off rental properties to get into the bar business and got enough bars to where I didn't have to have a square job anymore, is the Cliff's Note version of it. So.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good move.
Yeah, someday it depends on the day.
Some days.
It's a treacherous industry sometimes, but it's a lot of fun.
Bar business, restaurant business, man. I don't know that I would personally want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's not for a lot of people. Yeah, it's not
the bar venue industry. It would be fun, but I mean, I'm sure it's a goddamn headache.
Well, it's like, you ever watch Bar Rescue with Taffer?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
So I personally probably drink too much down the bar. Okay, just straight up, I'll put that on the table. It's something that I know about myself. You know what I mean? Like
a self-aware man, we love.
Well, I'm just saying, like Taffer would come in and destroy it.
Yeah. While you're sitting at the end and drinking JMO.
Yeah, that's how that would go. And yeah, I know better than that. You know, I prefer his bars because they're live music bars, most of them, except for Snug Harbor, actually. I mean, and you still have music in there a little bit.
Yes. Like karaoke and stuff, right?
Yeah, we have karaoke, and then we have a solo performer who'll be down there every once in a while.
Oh, that's nice.
And I like live music bars. Most of my live music scene, the people in that scene go to live music bars. That's just kind of how that is. And so I go in, it's like a big family, and I really dig it. And I really appreciate that Justin allows us to kind of work in this circuit of music scene. And that's about as bad business as I want to do is music business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's hard enough to make any money in that.
Well, when you combine the music business, which you don't really make any money at in the bar, and
I'd be living on the back of the bar. Yeah, I'd be living in the back of the bar probably. Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
Wow, I freaking you guys actually do 2 open mics at 2 of his bars.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys started out at Jerry's and Barleycorns, and now you're at Barleycorns and Shamrock, right? Shamrock.
We've been in and out of Shamrock a couple times doing it, I think.
Yeah, well, the blues open mic blues jam was there.
Yeah, the Wichita Blues Society.
And then when I got Jerry's, we started doing that on Thursdays. Barleycorn has always been Wednesday, and now we're back to Shamrock on Thursday, which has been great. I mean, that's been a great move.
Yeah.
That's been a lot of fun.
Aaron Horton brings the Munchapotamus
Oh
thing.
man,
I can't say enough good about her.
yeah,
Just kills it.
Stuff's excellent.
That's good every time.
Absolutely.
And Dickie does a great job out at Jerry's. Taking nothing away from that guy. He really did a great job with the food out
He's
there.
a whiz. I mean, that's a tough, genre, if you will, try to get bar food because it's, it's like everything else we just talked about. Everyone has opinions. Everybody has, things they want to do. And he did a really good job making a real simple menu that almost pleases everybody. Not everybody, but
The food's pretty good at Jerry's. I've ate there a couple times.
They're some of my favorite chicken wings in town.
yeah.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
And Dickie's willing to like make some weird stuff for us.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends what kind of mood he's in.
He's the cook, the head chef out there.
Oh yeah,
at Jerry's.
yeah. He's the boss in the kitchen. Yeah, no doubt.
So how long was Jerry's closed before you reopened it?
2 years and some change.
So that's why I thought it was gone for a little bit.
2 years,
Because
2
I live
months,
out
I
west. I'm not far from Jerry's, so I was glad. I was always glad to see it reopen.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Jerry's is like the other place. It's not quite as old as the other three spots are, but it's kind of in that, like Aaron talked about. It's in that fabric of music scene, if you will, in Wichita. Of course, out there it's mostly cover bands that play.
Well, it's an older demographic.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cover bands in Wichita too. You know what I mean? They're working musicians too. A lot of cover bands have guys in them, and guys and gals in them that have original projects too. And we always joke the cover bands are how they pay the bills, because that's the better paying
That's the
gigs.
reality.
You do. I mean, it is.
Right.
I've heard
No,
that
it
from
is.
more than one musician.
1,000%. Yeah. Yep.
And it's kind of like diversify. I mean, do you see that you're trying to like diversify the bars? Like Barleycorns might be your place to go for original, maybe heavier. You know what I mean? And Jerry's will keep that to be
That's right.
Jerry's can be our cover band scene, and then Shamrock can be this just grab bag of cool local
You pretty
talent.
much summarized it,
Yeah.
really. I mean, but
You nailed it. You nailed
Well,
it.
that's what I see. That's what I see.
No, it is.
But that diversification, that's intentional, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, Barleycorns is a grab bag in its own way, but it's all original. We do, like John alluded to, I had a hip hop show there last night. Tonight we got a Celtic rock band playing there, and that's just how, that place is. But it's, 99% original music, touring musicians, things like that. Jerry's, it's more cover bands. It's not just rock cover. We have some country cover, but it's, people go there. It's got a dance floor. It's an older demographic, like you said. So people want to go there and dance and be familiar with the songs. And then Shamrock, we do everything. Like last Saturday night, I had an original band, 3-bill show. Daikini was on that bill, which is a great band. And that was more of like a Barleycorns, if you will, show, and the night before it was a cover band. So Shamrock really does everything. So
Yeah, awesome. I know that we had talked about diversifying the open mics.
Yep.
And I think that has worked out well. We try to do like kind of the solo singer songwriters, maybe hip hop guys, the self-contained people get up at Barleycorn,
On
and that's
Wednesday.
kind of catered towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Thursday we provide a full back line.
Is that mainly so people don't have to bring in all their gear and crap to Barleycorns?
Well, and I think it brings in two different crowds.
Oh,
Right?
okay. I get what you're saying. That's where
I
you
think
go
that
with
the
this.
solo singer
okay, that makes
songwriter
sense.
gets intimidated when he comes in and here's a whole back line of gear up there, drummer, bass, guitar.
And they got to follow something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they get intimidated.
That makes
by
a lot of sense.
And I think they get pissed off when like, oh, okay, you're just up there playing. Let me get up there and play some drums for you.
Yeah. People hop up to.
it's like,
How does that? Okay, so let's address that. Do open micers don't like that if they're trying to just be up there and do your own thing?
Some of them
Because
do,
I've
but
seen
some of
that
them
shit
don't.
happen a lot.
You know my songs?
No,
There you go.
I don't.
There you
know
go.
shit.
Now you're gonna be fucking up my songs. You know what
I'm
I mean?
very big about policing the stage in that way. I want to make
Yeah.
sure that they have their stage.
I want
If
to.
that includes
I
other
haven't
people.
seen
cool.
anybody stop them yet. I want to see.
I have.
I have. Oh,
Yeah, we both have.
I'm good. I'm good here. We're all set. We're all set.
And I'll tell you another safeguard that we've had to do before is like, I got the old rocker, the guitar guy, man, and that's his deal. He's a rock guitar guy. And then I get a rapper up there that's really actually a pretty good rapper. And this guy's heckling him. I'd love some guitar. You know, where's the rock? You know what I mean? Where's the instrument? You just going to do that? And I got to remind him, man, hey, we sat through your bullshit. Right? You know what I mean? Why don't you sit through this guy's bullshit? Everything's
everybody. Yeah,
this is open mic, man. This isn't a concert. This ain't a competition. This ain't X Factor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I mean, since I started with hanging out, me and you started hanging out and going to open mics. I mean, sometimes you got to sit through everybody's.
And I ran him out the bar, to be honest. But to his credit, he came back the next week and was kind of like, I get it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And you live and you learn. I think that's why open mics are important. You know, just straight up. That's the first place out of the garage for some people. You know.
Yep.
If they go out there and they start getting heckled, man, they're gonna shut it down.
Yeah,
it's hard enough to get on the stage.
You could crush somebody's fucking dreams, man.
Real fast.
So what is the oldest bar? Is Shamrock older than Barleycorn's?
So technically, any bar that would be, it's 1933. So nothing in Wichita was here before Prohibition. So it's 1933, and Shamrock and Merle's both have that 1933 claim.
So those are the two oldest bars in town.
Yeah, I mean, and it's right. And then put it in quotes is great because, like, in a state like Florida, the liquor license stays with the bar, so it's easier to track that. In Kansas, it's the individual that it falls around. So you know, and to bring Snug into it, Snug has been Snug since 1954, so it's technically the same name. The longest, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
So Shamrock hasn't always been called the Shamrock.
No. Yeah. It's been a couple of things. I think Merle's has been a couple of things too. But, and again, you know, it's all, I never try to like overcorrect somebody when they're, because, you know, I mean, really, who knows? You know, at the end of the day, there could have been a place running illegally, you know, in the 20s. Who knows?
Some speakeasy.
I'm sure there was.
Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah, there 100% was.
Hey, so you mind telling us a story about the house at Shamrock? Like that's preserved there. That's a thing that has to stay there.
Yeah,
like
a lot of people
right?
don't know that there's apartments and there's stuff all in the back. You go through and kind of
the Shampus, I call it. Yeah. So the bar itself.
There's the name of the episode.
Sits right there on Douglas, brick building, and then upstairs of it is 2 studio apartments. And back to the old days, you know, West Delano used to be the red light district in Wichita. Mara knows this. And they used to run ladies upstairs. So it was kind
of like a brothel.
It was a brothel. Yeah, it was kind of like one. It was one. Yeah.
That's an old school public house.
Yeah, right. So that was the upstairs. Now it's apartments. Nothing like that going on up there now. I want to make sure that's made clear. So the house next door actually used to be a showroom for I think he sold vinyl siding, home improvement, stuff like that. And then that little building behind the house was his warehouse where he kept all his stuff at. So Dave purchased that. I actually met that guy at Jerry's last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Dave purchased that, and what I love about the Shamrock is Dave Styles, the previous owner. The Shamrock patio is a patio. When the smoking ordinance went away in Wichita, everybody pretty much just, like you see at Snug, they just put a little patio, you know, they put a fence out into the parking lot, right?
Anywhere, just gated off something in your parking lot.
Right, just so people had somewhere to go smoke. But Dave, in buying that property next door, buying that house, pretty much built the patio into it. And then those outdoor bathrooms are contained in that warehouse next door. So it's like a whole thing, man. But I mean, he put some thought into it and actually built
Killer foresight, actually. Because that is now
best
one of the best patios in town.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, I don't think they're, that's.
And the outdoor stage that you guys just built is a really cool thing.
Yep, we have that too. I mean, you know, you got, you know, noise ordinance to worry about with that. But when we have like, you know, like an Arbuckle comes there and plays, you know, with just him or just another guy, you know, it's good to have duos and trios out there, you know, daytime stuff. But yeah, that's great for that.
You have to shut it down by like 10 o'clock or something.
I think it 10's the ordinance, I think. Yeah,
because you're right in the fucking neighborhood. That'd be pretty loud.
There's a certain decibel.
I mean, there's like a church right there and all kinds of shit.
Well,
right there.
it's the residential stuff down the way.
Yeah,
like past what you see right there.
All the way down Vine.
Houses everywhere down Vine. And Sham's obviously grandfathered in as far as liquor license goes, because you could never get a liquor license. There's a church on either side of it. There's a house behind it.
Exactly. That place could never get like built again. That's why it has to stay a bar forever.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
It has to, because that's some shit in this town you just would never get back if it disappeared. It would be, somebody would just turn it into a fucking house or some shit right there.
And to delve into another bar, you just went back to John Barleycorns from Barleycorns.
Yeah, I mean, doing a little bit of research on that, Kurt Melsner, who had it before when it was John Barleycorns, he has down the street from the Vagabond down there. But he had it as John Barleycorns, and I kind of did some research on that name, and then he told me the story about it, about how, you know, it was a big Prohibition theme. The album from Traffic, John Barleycorn Must Die, is about Prohibition. So he gave me all these cool little themes that went along with it. And then kind of the clincher for me is just cattywampus, a Midwestern term, across the street is the statue of Carrie Nation, because she burned down the bar literally right across the street. Yeah. So it's got all these cool Prohibition ties to it, and I won't go any further into it. But just Google John Barleycorn, you'll see all that stuff, and that's why I went back to.
So you have a picture now inside there.
Yeah,
it's like John Barleycorn.
Yeah. I mean, some of the sound guys are giving me grief about it. They don't like it. They say the eyes follow them when they're walking through the thing.
Is that an actual person?
Yeah, I mean it's folklore basically.
It's like Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, basically he had to.
Well, give us a little folklore if you know it.
Yeah, I'm going to butcher it, but
that's all right. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, butcher things. Yeah,
that's fucking real science. We ain't looking this shit up.
Ruin 100-year-old stories.
Yeah, we ain't fucking looking this shit up.
Basically, he is the sacrifice to make make the grain, make the barley, make the booze. So it's like a Johnny Appleseed kind of situation.
Oh, for like a harvest type shit.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly. And when Prohibition happened in the U.S., all these cities, I think the one I looked up was Nashville. They had funerals for John Barleycorn, like it was a symbolic thing, because everybody was high and mighty and getting rid of alcohol and all that stuff. So there's his name's come up, a couple of times in that Traffic album, which is Steve Winwood. I didn't know this either until I looked into it. Is just playing on that.
So why was the Johnny pulled from the name of the bar?
So when the guys bought it before me from Kurt, they did the marquee, which was a great idea, and they just. I mean, and it's funny, and I put this in the post that I wrote about it. It can be whatever you want. A lot of people call it corns. A lot of people call it barley. I mean, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just come in and spend some dough.
That's right.
When I'm texting, it's B-corns.
Yeah, right.
But I just have to type BAR, and it gives me the whole thing. The apple's like I typed it so many times.
That's good. So they just dropped the John off of it when they did the marquee, and just kept it, as that. And of course, the stage backdrop is Barleycorn. It's still Barleycorn. I just thought it was important to bring that first part back.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck. If it's got a cool story, why not support it?
So on that picture of John Barleycorn's in there, I want to white out the details of his face and have like Farley put your details on that face.
Yeah. So it's funny. The artist that did that was like the first rendition.
They swap it.
They were like, we're putting you on there. I'm like, you're not going to put me on there because literally somebody's going to do that anyway. So it's that's
I'm
funny.
Gonna pay for it to be done.
You won't have to pay. Somebody will just
somebody will do it. Yeah,
it's probably already done. Yeah.
I mean, there's enough artists that sit in that place while people are playing.
and Farley and Lana are pretty embedded artists in Barleycorns, and I love what they're doing. There's art shows that happen in there.
Who are they? Give them a shout out.
Farley Charwell, Lana Malone. They're doing the murals on the back patio that you see.
Oh, okay.
There's Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah, those are awesome.
And Lemmy.
Yep.
And Alfred
Post Malone. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Mad Magazine.
Post Newman, whatever that is.
Yeah. Their art's all over that place. Yeah.
That stuff is awesome.
Yeah, and they did you can't really see the Hunter S. Thompson.
No, that's too bad.
That was really the first
happened?
one. Well, it's on the floor, and so it's just your feet wearing.
It's on that back patio.
So the tables and stuff are on.
Just people walking on. I think the weather. That back patio is.
Oh yeah, it goes through some things. Yeah,
yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and especially if you haven't made it out to the back patio or out to Barleycorns, that art back there is really awesome.
So you guys still doing the art shows and stuff there?
Yeah, they stopped doing them. We went away from doing a show every month, and now we have an artist there basically that hangs their art up and displays it throughout the month.
So it's like a gallery kind of.
Yeah, along that wall where the sound panels are, we do that. But funny you mention it, they're doing an art show, kind of like traditionally back to what we used to do, coming up here in a couple of weeks.
So what's that entail? What's that like?
So they just basically invite artists in and they show their wares for one night. People come in and buy them.
Oh, so it's you can actually buy and sell.
Yeah.
Art.
So we've played with both ways, because obviously when you have a show, then everybody knows about it. They come and do it. But then we went back to having it up for a month, because then people can come see it.
Is it still for sale when it's up for a month too as well? Oh, that's great. That's a great idea.
And in the electronic age, that makes it easier. Venmo and all that stuff. So that. Yeah, so
we're QR codes and Venmo and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So we've gone back and forth on how to do that. But I mean, I think that, and I talked to Aaron about this, the last part of Barleycorns, the the Rock and Roll Hall name. The music, there's old places in Victorian times that were called music halls, and basically they were just houses for art, and not to be, too high and mighty about it. But that's what I want Barleycorns to be, not just music, not just all music genres, but we do a comedy open mic there every Thursday. We have an artists in there. That's important to me, to have that.
That was, and I wanted to give you some credit for that because I don't think I ever saw that at another bar here, given like a little spot for artists to do live art and to display their art and sell it to the musician people are coming in, because not all arts get as much exposure as music does.
Those are some of the funnest nights. Yeah, and we have a show and just kind of stage right there. Somebody's
that's how I
making
met,
something.
That's how I met the guy that did our show this weekend. Hanson Long, maybe.
Hanson, yeah. Because he'll come in some of my open mics and do live art.
Yeah, I just didn't want to butcher his name. Yeah. I'm always like on the tiniest branch as I say someone's name, I'm always fucking up. But yeah, he was awesome. He'd come by. Oh, I have that sketch. We need to put that sketch in a little frame or something.
I was going to show you that I got that one that Hanson did at one of our open mics.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
He comes in and leaves these on the table.
Yep.
And I know there's a collection behind the bar.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them back there. Yeah.
Someone needs to put a sketchbook together, at least take pictures of them all and put them all together in a book. That would be a cool idea.
Be interesting if he even remembers doing that.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
When we were talking, he sat down because he was out, and he sat down and talked to us at ICT Fest, and he sketched both of us just while we were sitting there shooting the shit. So, and I met him at Barleycorns. Was the first time I ever met him at one of your, I think it was an open mic, and he was just painting a coolest fucking dragon picture in the corner. So
yeah,
I love that idea. Having let everybody get a corner for something.
Yeah, it's fun.
So one of the things I was wanting to talk to you about is that you are Browntown Productions. You do a lot of shows around, and some of the shows not even at your places. You help facilitate some other shows going down. How do you promote these shows? Like, promotion in Wichita has always just seemed like such a hard thing to do to get people out to shows.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, we obviously have a big social media component, Facebook and Instagram. I meet, having the 3 spots. I meet with Brian Clark on Monday, and we literally go through everything and just kind of plan all that out. Along with the shows, we have the open mics, we have other events at Jerry's. So, just getting all that stuff just out there to people is it's a lot of content. So just, it seems like, I don't know if this is the case still, but it seems like social media is the best for that, because at least it gives you a catalog, if you will. You can go down and see where everything's at. On a bigger show at Barleycorns, I'll do radio also. I think radio works for something like that if it's a touring musician, just to get it, in people's minds. But, outside of that, just, we got a pretty strong poster game, I think. We're still kicking it old school with that. So I used to hang posters from other places of mine and other bars, but then people would come in and get pissed off because they think that,
it was there.
Yeah, Mayhan's at Barleycorn. So we literally have to do it.
You got to read the fucking poster.
That's right. I know it's so big on there. It's
like, read the
fucking date. I'll be here.
People are like, I love this poster. I'll be here.
Yeah, I love it. It's right in the spot. Yeah. So yeah, posters. I mean, I still think they work, because at least in Shamrock, I mean, and even in Barleycorns too, because we have the open mics during the week. People just going through there and seeing them, I think, really helps.
A good poster catches my eye still does. Still fucking does. Like, what was that real cool poster? You guys just had like Anvil or somebody in there that had like the tightest poster ever.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I mean, that shit still works for me.
Yeah. And then, obviously at Barleycorns also the marquee too. I get.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I
drive by traffic on that. It's huge.
Yeah, just seeing that. So, yep.
Yeah, whoever put that in was fucking.
If they would just take out that dead tree that I don't know how that died, just take that out.
It's so funny. That's
city property.
It is. Yeah, and there's a tree. Yeah, I mean, right there, and now it is. Yeah.
Well, next time you see, and I don't want to spread. I used to work for the city. I don't want to spread this too loud. Nobody's watching this. Nobody likes our show that much. If they're fucking around with trees, get you some orange paint and put an X on that motherfucker. It'll be gone.
They'll just come by and get it.
Well, because if they're in your area, getting them. There's a dude that goes through and hits all the ones that's supposed to be taken out.
Nice.
And it's just orange paint. They put an orange X on it, and he's gone. He ain't there when they cutting them down.
Yeah,
he's gone surveying, looking at the next ones to cut down.
Well, I've been waiting for that one particular tree to be taken out, because it's obviously dead.
It's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
With the city, it's the squeaky wheel, or
It's still pretty tough though. It's in there.
It's in there, in the bricks.
Not that I tried to take it out.
Yeah, that's straight.
That's
Every Wednesday to hang it
That's
on.
why I don't want to fuck with it because it's in them bricks.
Then I got to play another one.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Or they walk
Shrub.
You know, like
Shrub would be great.
Or just put a little bench there or some shit.
We got the big flower pot out there right next to it too. Many of drunk people have fallen into that. This thing is like, it's huge, and people will always make the mistake of like thinking they can sit on the edge of it, and kind of hang out a little bit.
No, I actually saw that this weekend because we were actually at one of your locations after ICT Fest. There was an after party on the Friday night. I was there.
Yeah.
And so I was there and someone was trying to sit on that eating Chinese food from the Chinese food truck. It did not go well for them.
No.
They tried to sit on it. I was like, no, you can't sit on that.
Not a chair.
Well, there's a whole goddamn park benched area that the other place built.
Yeah, there's literally a huge patio right next door.
Right there. Yeah.
I know what we do with the spot. I know what we do. We have Carrie Nation over here. We have John Barleycorn.
Yeah.
Right there at that spot.
Oh, there you go.
Then they can fight to the death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they can stare each other down or whatever.
Is there like I wonder, we should Google like cool John Barleycorn sketches. I bet there's like a cool image.
Definitely do.
We could
Get that commissioned.
Just don't put my face on it.
We'll just have to pin it every once in a while.
So Snug has Snuggapalooza.
Oh yeah.
Sham has Tornado Bait.
Yep.
Is there going to be a Barleycorn one?
So I thought about that. It's funny you mentioned that. So at Jerry's Halloween is the big. I always tell people that Halloween is like Patty's Day at Shamrock at Jerry's. So
a lot of people dress up and shit.
Yeah, we do a big party for that. So I think what I'm going to do is I got the Browntown Throwdown is coming up in October, and I'm doing it at Sham. I think I'm going to move that to Barleycorns to kind of make that the Barleycorns thing, I guess. So I'm excited about it this year. Mountain Dew Revival's playing at Sham, and I mean those guys, they
just won the Jack Daniels thing.
I know.
That's cool as fuck.
That's so huge.
I told them, I joke with them, they're too big to play in clubs now, but they still play in mine, which is great because it's a fun night. Those guys are all
they just
great.
Gonna add a zero, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Zeros don't cost you nothing.
That's right. Yeah, no, yeah, they're great. I'm excited for that show. So yep.
So run through all those things again. You have what were they all called? I don't want to fuck the name.
So Tornado Bait is at Shamrock, and I actually moved it. It used to be literally a month after Patty's Day, and I moved it to May. And I put more of a food focus on it. It's always been kind of a blues crowd and show, and we talked about even during the blues jam, that crowd is older, my age and older, so we like to eat, when we drink. So having a food focus seemed to work pretty well on that. So yeah. And Tornado Bait started, Dave, the original owner of the Shamrock, had a place on Hydraulic in Washington called The Spot. And it's basically a celebration of tornado season in Kansas. It's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek,
joke.
Deal.
Yeah, I get it. Awesome.
Yep.
And I heard the clock that's on that stage is from The Spot.
Yeah, but it was donated from the Riverside, basically the Riverside Recreation. It's one of those old Mercury clocks. You got to wind it.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh really?
Yep.
So
but it was donated to them at The Spot, and he brought it to the Shamrock. So.
There's some cool history on the walls at Shamrock.
Fuck
yeah, that
you
place
look
is.
around it,
Yeah.
I mean, that gives you like one of those really old school. Well, Barleycorns does too. Like those long, skinny bars with they always give you that old school.
Yeah, shotgun bars.
Anytime you go to an old town on their main street, you always find those cool bars. Every time for the most part, and they're always the best ones, in my opinion.
I agree.
They always are. There's a bunch of great ones in Lawrence. There's a bunch of great ones in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Like I love those style bars. Are always badass.
Have you been to Lawrence lately?
It's been 2 years since I've been to a basketball game.
Pretty weak.
What do you mean?
Honestly, dude, I was down on Mass Street like not too long ago, and a lot of the bars are like.
I can't believe you're saying that after we just won the national championship. If you'd have went there, you probably couldn't have walked down the street.
I'm thinking that's why they won the national championship because there's nowhere else to drink in town. You know what I mean?
The whole Mass Street's full of places to drink. You ain't never been to the Jazz House and all that?
I'm saying that like Jazz House is left, like Bottleneck is left, but there are.
I used to always eat at. I used to go to Fatso's was where I always went. That's the long skinny bar. It's right by the Grenadier. It's right next to the Grenadier.
But the club scene, the music scene up there.
And Luis's was right across the street with the
so
big ass fucking Spooner beers. But yeah, they used to have them big ass fucking like fishbowl beers. Everybody's walking around like.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been lately. I mean. Kids are whack these days. They don't get fucking hammered. Kids don't get hammered drunk when they're 18 like they used to.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was getting like fucking shit faced at 15. Statute of limitations, bitch.
Well, that's all we had back then. You know what I mean? We didn't have Fortnite or whatever.
All the social. Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we had video games, but you know, you can drink them and play them.
I think Wichita got a leg up on Lawrence right now.
We've got a pretty strong scene right now, I think. And there's
there's a lot of efforts trying to pick that up. You know what I mean? Like Muse, White Building, Rudy Love's doing a lot of cool stuff. Hardy's at Wave are doing some.
We should be carrying the torch. We're the biggest fucking city in this town or in this state.
Yeah, we're the biggest city in this town.
But yeah, we're the biggest city. We should be carrying the torch for this shit more than we do. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's starting to happen. I think. I'm hoping that some of the heads on the city government are kind of changing over. A little bit more receptive.
Oh, on a quick read from one of our other things, I think they are going to legalize those fentanyl testing strips.
Yeah, I saw that today.
They did it today.
Did they do that today? Yeah, I wanted
decriminalized marijuana possession too.
And now it's just in town. Okay,
and they can still pick you up. I mean, there's always the other side.
That law has been in for a little while, but they've always been dicky about it. Anything under 2 ounces, they can give you a ticket and let you roll and make you come in. Or they can book your ass and take you in, just kind of whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, they can.
I was at that city
arrest you for anything.
I know, right?
I was at that city council meeting where they were talking about it, and basically Whipple is like, "Look, we as a city voted to decriminalize marijuana." And he's like, so I just don't want it in my courts. He's like, it's still a state law. I can't supersede it.
That makes sense.
But if you're going to prosecute it, your district court gets to handle it, not my municipal court.
Yeah, quit wasting our fucking money on nonviolent offenders.
And so basically what that does on a cop level, like between cops and us, if we're not being a dick about it, and if we're not being like blatant about it, they're probably going to roll on by.
Yeah. And hopefully, I hope if they pull you over and maybe your car smells a little suspect, they just will leave you alone.
Yeah, just tell you to go home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just leave me alone.
Yeah, maybe they just take it and dump it on the ground and you go away.
Something, just something.
But yeah, I think any progress is good progress.
Yeah, but
the fentanyl testing strips, that just has to happen, guys.
Yeah, that just has to happen. That was such a weird stand for the city to take on.
No, it's not the city, man. Those are
state laws.
Those are state laws that we can't supersede. And so that's what the legislation was about that happened today was they're just saying it's not going to clog up my courts because I don't believe in that.
Makes sense.
We can't change the law, but we don't have to prosecute.
Well, how come a city can't do what the state does to the federal government? Like, why can't we just say fuck what the state thinks and do what we want in our city?
Because those are hard lines, man.
But the state gets to do that with the federal government. I mean, Colorado gets to say fuck the federal law. We're having weed in our state.
But those are the rules.
That'd be fucking cool if we could do a citywide, but the counties and all that shit fuck all that up probably.
Yeah, state troopers or
you have all that like sheriffs and shit that cross all those boundaries.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably what fucks all that up. Well, anyway, we were talking about Barleycorns and all the comedic stuff. You got a comedian coming in. September 23rd.
Yeah, Nick Allen. He's on the Todd and Tyler. I don't know, T95. Is that right? The radio show.
I'm not a listener anymore.
Anyway,
that sounds right.
But he has been here twice before, and it's been big crowds both times. So
I'm glad to see. I wanted to swing that back around because how long have you guys been doing open mics for stand-up comedians up in Barleycorn?
Since I've had it, and before that, so at least 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
That's awesome.
On Thursday nights.
I'm glad you guys give a voice to stand-up comedians. That's one of my favorite genres. So it's always
we do one at Jerry's on Tuesdays too.
Really?
So Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah.
Nice. So if you're a stand-up comedian, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think is it Wednesdays at the Looney Bin?
Yeah.
So it's about perfect. You can sharpen your skills.
I think they're about once a month at Looney Bin.
Yeah, and Kirby's has that mic once a month too on Sundays.
Yeah, that's right. Megan Welch hosts it most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's just fabulous. I love Megan.
Yeah, she's great.
I love stand-up comedy. So,
man, so they used to come in to the open mics that we would do, and it was 50-50, man. Like it's either going to work or it's going to bomb.
It's like if you're a stand-up comedian and you're coming in, and I'm not, but I will say this as what I've watched, you better pick your spot behind who you play after pretty well. Like,
it's kind of like this. Okay, if I'm going to a comedy club, there's an unwritten contract that I'm going to laugh. I'm going to take things,
and pay attention a little more,
and I'm not gonna be here at the bar talking really loud while you're up there doing that.
Yeah.
And if you go into an open mic, man, none of that's understood. None of that's expected.
Nobody gives a shit.
That's it,
They're doing all kinds of things.
And so
You're doing all kinds of shit, man.
I remember one night, man, it was just horrible. These guys came in and their humor was like, it was edgy humor, okay? It was like racially driven. It was like homophobic driven. It was like they're talking to my very diverse crowd.
Yeah, and it's just swinging a miss.
Oh, yeah. Well, worse. They're getting heckled now.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're being like...
Now they're like, you...
Yeah. Like, and, oh, man, it was just...
and if you're not a seasoned comedian and you don't know how to do speech...
I was like, oh, man. You got to look into that crowd sometimes and pick your battles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, how do you... When you have 4 bars, you got 7 nights a week on this show, how do you go about corralling booking for all of this shit? Tell us what that process is.
Well, obviously
like.
technology helps, just with everything. I mean, I don't think anybody could have 4 bars and, not in the smartphone age, but that, I just keep a Google Calendar, and I'm fortunate now, when I had, Aaron was booking, Shamrock with me when we first had it. We used to have to go out and hustle bands, to get bands in there. I'm lucky now, a lot of them come to me. So now it's more sorting through all of it and
trying to juggle dates and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
try to figure out who's a good fit. Try to not schedule against myself. Not have like 3 rock cover bands going at the same night. But that's really what it is. So it's really now just organizing all of it and making the right choice for the right place on the right night. So.
Yeah, I always was hoping for some resource of like, okay, I'm trying to book November the whatever, the second Saturday in November.
Yeah.
All right, what shows are going around? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
is there a huge metal show that could tell you that I shouldn't book a metal show?
It's funny you say that because I'll have people book things and then they'll say that after the fact, and it's like, man, I don't know. I can't keep track of what's going on everywhere else. So now I don't even try to worry about it. Is the way I look at it. I used to worry about it. I used to go like, well, this is here and that's here. Now I'm just like,
yeah.
You got to get to the. Even just trying to schedule people all to meet up at the same time. Is not easy.
No kidding. Right. Yeah.
Let alone trying to make 3 bands meet at one place. And so fuck if there's a metal show somewhere else. That's how we think that same way.
Now there's 2 of them.
But
now there's 2, maybe 3 shit. I mean,
right.
Yeah, tonight's metal night in Wichita.
Yep.
Gonna be that.
So sorting through all that is the biggest thing. I feel bad-ish. I don't feel really bad, but sometimes I don't get to emails. They just come in and they just go out into the ether, because by the time I get to a certain email, that date's long gone. Or
that's even happened to us on a small scale. It's like, hey, can I be a guest? Oh, that was last week.
Yeah, right.
Fuck. So if you have any advice for people that are wanting to book at your venues, what's the best way to, not just to get in touch with you, but go about that as not making it easy for the venue owners to book? What's a ideal band? What's the worst and best case scenario?
So the best case scenario, I try to make it really easy. I always tell the staff always tells people to message the Facebook page. And then when you get to the Facebook page, the Facebook Messenger, it tells you which direction to go. If you're a band wanting to book, email, and I've got an email set up for each location. So really just follow instructions with musicians sometimes. Not to talk too much shit, but it's tough, it's hard for them to, grab, but that's it. Go to the Facebook Messenger, shoot me an email, don't be afraid to follow up. These are famous last words, but obviously hustle matters, he said, don't spam his shit, but it's okay to follow up.
Yeah. A lot of musicians do have that, that imposter syndrome, and they're scared that if they didn't get back to him instantly, that it's okay that they can't send another one. That's not the case. This guy's a busy man. He's got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, getting that follow-up's good, and sometimes it just, the band won't fit. At Barleycorn's, some other advice I would give to bands is to hop on bills with other bands. Open mic's a great place to do that. Open jam's an even better place because we've got full bands literally playing at Shamrock, 2 or 3 of them a week are coming in there and playing. So, it's back. It's just like anything else. It's networking. If you get in with somebody, Aaron's put a couple bands together that have gotten together, and all of a sudden we got a show at Barleycorn. I mean, so that's the way to do it. Just network and hustle.
Yeah, I mean, it's real simple. Okay, if you come into the open jam, and you're
What's
a good
the difference
band,
between open mic and open jam?
well, all right. In my head, okay.
Mine too.
In my head, the open mic is an open mic. If there's a mic, bring to it whatever you got going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
An open jam would imply to me a host band.
Yeah. There's a back line. There's drums there. There's
And there's usually people to play there.
yeah. And you're jamming. People are getting together.
A
and
little
playing.
higher, maybe a little better musicians, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
Or about the same. Well, it seems like it seems more like a structured thing than just an open jam, the open mic.
Well, it's like I said, I think a host or an open mic, open jam. God, I can't talk now. You got me confused.
Yeah.
An open
Yes.
jam, I think has a host band. Like you've been out to Rusty Nail, seen theirs on a Sunday.
Yeah, I was there. We had some old fashions there.
So there's your usual suspects. Okay, you've got
3 players
You've got a
back
band.
And
up
I've seen
there.
them play open mics at Shamrock. They've come out.
And a fantastic group of guys.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
Great
and-
musicians.
and
That's the
they're
guy with
awesome.
their harmonica, right? They got their harmonica
Yeah,
in their band.
and the Gnaps.
And they're super accommodating.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
if you're a bass player, you can now go to this open jam and they'll let you sit in. That's what I would call an open jam,
Okay, I gotcha.
right? An open mic. If you're a bass player, I would be like, all right, man, like, what are you doing? You get up there and you play bass and sing?
Hopefully, like Stuart Campbell.
Well, I would like to see you do that.
Yeah, just are you a solo bass player? I would go smoke while you're doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
You're a bass player and you would go smoke while you're doing.
yeah,
something
dude, that's not a solo. That's not a lead instrument, bro.
No, I think Phil.
Not unless you're
Somebody,
like Les Claypool. Or,
someone's got to be able to pull that off now.
Oh, there are people.
He can.
Victor Wooten.
Yeah.
Stuart
Right, he can
Ham.
sing and play bass. He just
Fleet.
he's
Sure can.
talking shit on it like he can't do it, but he can.
I don't think it's awesome. Is what I'm saying.
It's not an
Fair
optimal
enough.
I
situation.
think the bass solos are like the low point in the set. You know what I mean? The drummer got to
not
be
me.
real quiet. Like, and it's
He
just like,
does.
why are we doing that? Right now? You know, like, but
Coming from the bassist.
yeah.
Right.
These poor bassists.
Well, he knows better than most.
So yeah, that networking is important. I mean, and it's not hard. I think one of the great things about Wichita is, for the most part, everybody's pretty friendly. Obviously Aaron and Jon do a great job, so they're friendly right off the bat. And we always tell the stories about the combative things, but we've got hundreds of jams that aren't that way. And
Oh,
mics,
yeah.
so that part's cool.
You'll remember the ones that fly off the rails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of times it is pretty smooth sailing.
I mean, I've seen nothing but smooth sailing in all your venues for the most part. I don't think I've ever had any problems, really, with any. Like,
We're hiding our problems well, Justin.
Yeah, no shit.
we wait till we get home to.
As long as they don't cross his desk, we're good.
Yeah, that's right.
So, how do people go about wanting to? If they say, do people come to you with like wanting to put on festivals and shows at your venues too as well? How do they go about that?
Same way.
Same way, just
Yeah,
like,
I only do a couple of those. I mean, it's Barleycorns is more suited for something like that, but it doesn't have the foot traffic and the obviously the space that Shamrock does. So it's tough to do something like that in a bar that has regulars, because then you're shutting the door to them and letting just people into that doing that. So yeah, we've done some stuff like that at Jerry's. Jerry's is closed on Sunday. Don Bean threw a blues show out there. It was great. Had a lot of people for it.
So you have like a private show? Oh, nice. That's,
Yeah.
Jerry's could be a great venue for that, actually.
Yeah, we do, baby showers, all that kind of stuff out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that has like the food element too.
Yeah, that helps everything. And back to picking on the blues guys again, they like, again, they're our age or older, so they like that, being able to sit down and we've had a couple great shows out there on Sunday.
So are you looking to expand your bar empire? Are you done with these 4, or what do you got your eyes on anything?
I've got something I'm working on now. This is probably about 2 weeks too early to talk about it, but I have, it's more of a food bar component. No music. At all. So, we're not doing any music, so I've got enough
if you
of that.
have
Yeah.
another music venue, your head might fucking explode.
But it'll be cool. It's coming up, and it's something that I'll. Yeah.
Nice. When that,
Next couple
we'll
weeks.
be looking out for it whenever. I hope it all works out for you.
Yep.
Because you're one of my favorite bars in town. We love going to your places. So
Thanks, man.
How can everybody get a hold of any way to what's all your production company or your promotion company and all that stuff? Give them all your info.
Even Browntown's got a Facebook Messenger on it, so it'll give you the email right when you send a message to it. So email's really the best. I mean, it just phone calls. It's just I get a lot of those anyway, so I just
So what's the email to get with?
So and yeah, they all have ICT in front. So like the Barleycorns one is ictbarleycorns@gmail.com.
Oh, perfect. So
Shamrock, same way. Snug Harbor, same way. Jerry,
right.
same way. Yep.
So tell us about the Browntown Throwdown. What you got going on? What you got cooking?
So it's Mountain Dew Revival, and I always try to do a mashup for this. So Vehicles, who's a great, they're playing with Mountain Dew. They've always wanted to play with them. Obviously, Mountain Dew gets great crowds. Vehicles does too. And they go, when can we do this show? I'm like, well, let's do it at the Shamrock for the Throwdown because that's always just a mashup, situation. So yeah,
that's a one day thing.
One day. I used to do multiple days on it, but that got a little stressful and chaotic.
Tell me about
So yeah, I think one off is how I'm going to do it from now on. And like I said, I'll do it Sham this year. I think I'll move it to Barleycorns next year. Yep.
Nice.
Do you get to collaborate much with Nafsky Park, being right there with Barleycorn?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So Adam with Wave, not the Wave.
Where's the wave at?
It's the one down the street.
Oh, it's right.
It's got a V on it. People go there by mistake.
It looks the exact same inside.
It's a bowling alley.
It's a bowling alley would be even better. Oh fuck.
But he books all that there. So yeah, we've obviously that's great tonight. The Backstreet Boys are at Intrust, so we're going to get some runoff off of that.
Yeah.
Those are the best nights. But yeah, back to Nafsky Park. He books it. We've gotten together on a couple of shows, doing some things together with that because back to the noise ordinance, they got to be done by 10 there. Yeah. So bringing them over to the.
Don't you get another hour on weeknight?
I think on the weekends it might go to 11.
Yeah, I think it does on Friday and Saturday. It goes to 11.
Yeah,
you would think in that commercial kind of area, but
That's
there's also like
exactly
lots.
Yeah, well, there's
over
apartment.
there.
The Eaton apartments are right there too.
Yeah,
You've
so
got
it means
apartment complexes and
get more
shit.
residential.
Yeah.
So doing that combo is always nice. Getting a show there and then people coming across the street. So, yep.
But do you have any shows that you are looking that you haven't ever put on that you have any ideas for? Just like some random shit that you've never been able to put together.
Anvil was pretty huge.
Yeah, that was big. I mean, the Shiners playing here in October. That's a big band. They're getting ready to come in October, I think. I should know these days. But
it's all on the web. It's all on the Facebook page.
That's right.
Website.
Yeah,
That's why we write it all down. That's why it's all on there for you.
But really, Barleycorns has been just a staple forever. I mean, I've played in bands at that building since it was like Panama Reds. Back in the day.
Really?
And that building, Macy Gray, Johnny Five.
Yeah, I've seen those.
311 played on the roof.
Just some.
I saw
really
Devin the Dude
cool-
in that place.
Yeah,
A random West Coast hip hop artist.
Max Sabbath.
Max Sabbath's been there. Yeah, the John 5 show was awesome. That was one of my favorites. That guy's a freaking icon. So having him in that place, he joked when he got on stage. I always tell this story. He said that's the smallest place he ever played, and he announced it on stage. And his team, when they came in, were giving us a hard time a little bit. They were like, man, I don't know if John's going to like this at all. They were getting a little nervous about it. And he got on stage, and it was kind of that moment he said, this is the smallest place I ever played. Everybody I was kind of hanging on it. And he's like, but I love it, which is awesome. So of course it was
The
cool.
ambiance of that bar is awesome. I mean, it's even though it's a small room, it's always cool in that place. Like it's just a cool fucking feel.
I like seeing bands in small rooms, man.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I just like
Me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Me
It's
too.
a more intimate thing.
It really is. It's cool, especially if you can get the really cool big bands to come into small rooms like that.
Yeah, it's like I can be back in the balcony, my binoculars checking dude out, but
That's why I've always liked the Cotillion because Cotillion's you can get some.
Cotillion's kinda like that, too.
It's pretty intimate location for big artists to come through. You're right on there. You're standing right up on them.
Yep. No, it's a good size, and obviously the round mound of sound, having that where you can walk around just the whole time, and I mean that's what I always do. I'm a busybody, so I don't like sitting down. So I'll hit both the bars, go to this place, talk to the security guy, so that place is great for that because you're always in front, you can see the show.
In a nice little circle and keeps you looking at everything.
I was there a week ago from Modest Mouse. It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know they were here.
Yeah.
that's part of the promotion thing I'm talking about. It's hard to get.
There almost needs to be like a separate area for Facebook promotions. So like we don't have to fight the algorithm of like not it populating all fucking weird.
Right.
Like there should be like a separate area for like bands and venues to post shit on Facebook that just posts and we can access it. So it's not like all mixed in with people's like, hey, this is what I, took a shit today.
Yeah.
All that crap, mixed in with, it would be nice to like separate those two things.
And it's funny you say that, that algorithm, easy for me to say, stuff is real. When I put shows out, I will all the time share it on my Facebook page. And if you even tag a business, like if I tag Barleycorns or tag Shamrock, it knocks you down, to the bottom. So you got to have, it's weird, but it's almost better to put it on your personal page.
Yeah, it is. Your personal page will get more fucking traction unless you say some smart ass shit and get banned for a couple days.
Yeah, right.
And then
it's one way to get attention.
Yeah. Well, when you do that, then it puts your shit down on the feed for 30 days too. So not only slap your ass on the wrist, then they shuffle your ass to the back.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up, anything you want to, any shows you got coming up you want to pimp out real quick?
Yeah, anything. I mean, go to the bars, guys.
I'm going to look at the calendar.
Yeah, go ahead.
We talked about the Nick Allen one. That'll be good.
Polka Dot Cadaver's on October 1st.
Polka Dot Cadaver is October 1st.
Ooh,
yeah.
yes.
That's a big
Excited
one.
for that one.
That's a big one. That John's running sound for that. So come
He's
see
excited
John.
for that one.
Yeah, that was one of
He even
those.
like set up in a seat like for that one.
Yeah.
He almost ate his fucking microphone back there.
It's the era. It's the era we live in now. But that was one of those shows that got COVID canceled, and now this is the second. It's funny, like when I book a big show like that, I almost expect it. Like I'm like, okay, well, this is the first time we have this date. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get it again.
this will actually be like a 2-3
Yeah.
weeks.
So this is the for real this time. Hopefully, if nothing else happens, this is them because they were supposed to be here in June. So.
That's got to be a fucking headache from navigating. I mean, we didn't get too much into navigating those 2 years of fucking COVID, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it.
Yeah.
Never happened.
I mean, we're still dealing with it. I mean, we're still dealing with that shit, but I'm glad we're all past it. Go out and see some shows. Check out his venues. Snug Harbor, Barleycorn, Shamrock, Jerry's. They're all great venues in this town. Go out and have a drink. Tip your fucking bar staff, please. They work hard for you. Tip the bar staff.
They're great bar staff at all those locations.
Justin hires the great bar staff. They're some of my favorite bartenders in this town. They all deserve a shout out. We won't go through them all right now. They're all great people. They all got families. Tip them well. Be good to them. Okay, guys? Thank you guys for coming. Thanks, Justin, for doing this, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, John.
Run that bean footage.
Is it a podcast?